Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. Bit of bad news coming up, I suppose, on the bike side of things. Can't see me riding this bike here anymore, so this bike will be going up for sale, and I don't know, maybe the Triumph 2, because unfortunately twice this year I've had prostate problems, and you might wonder why I haven't been riding this Himalayan for the last 3 weeks. And twice this year, for the first time in my life, like I'm 66 now, first time in my life early this year when I was riding an XR 190, I only took it out on the dirt road, and I developed problems in the prostate area, never went any further, and that was the first time in my life I ever had that problem. Ended up going to the doctor and checked it out. I had an enlarged prostate, and had trouble going to the toilet, and that went on for a period of a month. I had blood tests and all that, everything was all right. It cleared down after a month, so I never thought much more about it. And sure enough, everything went fine. Then I jumped on this Himalayan going back 1 month ago, took it for 2 rides on the dirt. I don't know whether it was the shape of this seat that stirred things up again, and sure enough, just 2 rides on the Himalayan, and that was enough to kick it off again. And this has gone on now after two rides, 121 kilometres on the bike, and I've not been able to get onto that bike, and I've been back to the doctor again. I've been for blood tests, which is good. There's, at this stage, it's only enlarged. You wouldn't believe the problems I've gone through over the last 3 weeks. There's no way I can get on this bike and ever ride it again at this stage. I've went through blood tests, I went through ultrasounds, they've been checking your kidneys, everything like that. It's hard to believe. You go to the toilet, you got to stand up, it takes you 5 minutes to do a piss. You've got to squat down and sit on the toilet and do a piss. The stinging and burning that goes everywhere with it. I've been advised by the doctor the smart idea would be not to get back on this bike and ride it again, because it's already happened to be twice this year. So at this stage I'd be a fairly foolish person. Well, I can't get on it now anyway, so at this stage looks like the party's over for me on this bike. I don't even know if I'll even be able to get on this Triumph. It might go too, so my bike riding days might be gone at this stage until they decide if it's going to calm down, or whether I'm going to have to go to stronger medication, or if it'll go into a stage where they'll have to stay, you know, something, and see if they can shrink it or something like that. But at this stage they're not going on to any stronger medication, and what they are trying to do is just let it relax and go back to normal. And fortunately this stage is not more serious than enlarged, and the smart thing for me to do is not to provoke it anymore, that it goes into anything worse where they have to get into it and get into anything and it's more serious. So at this stage, a smart idea for me is to back off and let it calm down. So if you're wondering why I haven't been riding this Himalayan, that's the reason. I had big intentions for it, and you might notice now I've pulled all the stuff off this bike. There's nothing on it now, and I'm just going to whip it up on the sale site, and I don't know, I might just go back and work on cars and something like that. But I'd say at this stage my bike riding days are put on hold for a while. You might say, oh well, you could keep the bikes and see what happened. Well, I could, but you know, unlike other people, like if I decide I want to come back onto bikes or something like that, if I do move these 2 bikes, you know, like it's not a case where I can think to myself, oh, if I sell the bikes I'll never get them again. I never think like that. It's just a case if I decide and I can come good or something like that, I'll just come back and buy 2 new ones again, or whatever the case is. So it never worries me that way. It's not a case that if I sell them I'll never be able to replace them. It's not like that. So I never look at it, I can never get them again. But the fact is, the smart idea is to move them forward. Definitely move this Himalayan at this stage, that's for sure, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have the guts to get on that and ride it again, because I've already gone down twice with this problem, and I don't know what's going to happen if I get on and try it for the third time. So anyway, if anyone watches this and is after a Himalayan in Australia and wants to buy one at a good price, I think I've done 121 kilometres. They would be best to contact me, and you know, it might be a good bike for them to buy. So Lisa's had a very easy life with 121 k's on. So, but the main thing I'm telling you about this is you might be wondering what's going on or why I haven't been riding it. But I did have big intentions with this one and bought all the stuff for it to go on all these trips and that. But at this stage, like 3 weeks I think it was since I put up the last video on that dirt ride, and since then I haven't been able to ride the bike at all. And honestly, I've not been on this bike since. And I've sort of got no intention of getting on the bike again. So at this stage, I just thought I'd give you an update what's going on, and we'll see what happens further down the track. But it'll give you something to keep an eye on. But like I said, it happened pretty quick. So it was just a matter of going out on the bike one day and going for a bit of a ride. Next minute got a bit of, next day got up with a bit of a pain between the legs, and then a burning feeling, and after that couldn't really go to the toilet properly, and then it was a trip to the doctor. Then it was the strides down and a finger up the back passage, and he said, "You've got a problem." So that's how it all started, and then after that the test all started from there on. And but thankfully nothing serious at this stage, apart from the fact that you have trouble going to the toilet and you have to put up with all the inconvenience that goes with it. But anyway, that's an update on what's going, and but at this stage the only thing that's going is this bike, and we don't know about this bike, but it's possible. But either one of them's no good to me at the moment, so it won't be a while before I can ride either one of them. So they're just lookers. But anyway, thanks for tuning into the channel and having a look, and once again I appreciate the fact that you've all been here looking at the channel, and I thought the correct thing to do would be at least tell you or update you what's going on, and you might have been wondering why I haven't been riding this bike, and at least you know now why. So once again, thanks for tuning in, catch you later.